Hi besties, so I'm gonna be working on my sun tapestry today. We have the one tiny little orange slice in there, but it's gonna look like this when we're done. And it's gonna be with this the lesbian pride flag yarn. Anyway, also I'm working on my third little, technically fourth sorry, little cat guy. Let's see, do I need that? Probably. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be another one of these in a different color scheme. The thing is, I'm almost out of white yarn again. It's always, I keep running out of white yarn. So I'm like, what, I should just put a little sun in the corner, and then I won't need as much white or something, but I still don't think it's gonna be enough. So then I was like, I could take out, I'd go halfway and then do the top in this kind of silvery one, and then I would do a fourth one and do it I don't know if I want the cat to be in this one, and then the background would be ombre, white, and then the light blue, medium blue, dark blue, going down. Or I could do the background like that and do the cat gray, because I do have a gray cat. Or I could do it the reverse, so the cat would be ombre and then the background would be all this. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you think this would look good. So I would need to go back down to this, where the tail gets longer here. I would need to take that out, so it would be down here, and then this all would be white background, blue cat, and then I'd keep the dark blue because I still have a lot of that. Oh, a lot of that guy. Just not that one, because I mean, I used so much of it already, so that's understandable. But yeah, I still want to make this work. It's not like I envisioned it originally, but I think it's coming together. I like this, and then doing a fourth one with this, because otherwise it's just why is there gray on one? So it needs to be in a fourth one to make the whole thing cohesive, you know? So it's just trust the process, right? That's probably what I'm gonna call this video, trust the process. So yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on what I should do, because I do think that white yarn was from Joanne, and I'm not sure if they're still open. I heard that they're going bankrupt, and then I made my dad take me, and we bought some big yarn so I could make some more beanies like this, because we just moved to the Midwest from California, and so it's it's a little colder than I'm used to out here. When Chapel Roan says I miss the seasons in Missouri, I'm like, okay, that makes sense now, because I used to think, I was like, California has seasons, why does everyone always say? But we don't get seasons really like this, you know? It's not, yeah. So I've learned my lesson. Anyway, yeah, there have always been animals around, but yeah, there's a rooster 2 doors down now. That's not, we lived in a little place called Agua Dulce for a while, if you've heard of that, in California. It's north of Los Angeles, but there were a lot of horses and stuff when we were driving by, so it's not totally new to be around animals and stuff, but it's I can hear the rooster. And then another place that we lived, there were horses right, if you go, usually we would go, it was at my grandma's house, usually we would pull up from one way, but once we were living there, usually sometimes it's easier to go a different way, and there were horses just right around the corner, and I didn't know that my whole life until I moved there, I think. We've probably gone around that way sometimes, but yeah, so it's not like I've never seen an animal before, you know? And I went to UC Davis, which is like a farm school. I actually went to a school called Town and Country Farm School for like kindergarten and pre-K. So like, okay, don't guess my passwords. If you're trying to hack me. What was your... I think they usually ask like first, what was your elementary school? I don't remember, but this was an elementary school, so it's not even gonna help you. So don't even bother. Yeah, there were like chickens, and like I definitely remember chickens. I think there was a pig, and I had a dream where like we were going to see the pig and then it was like a zebra, and then I woke up and I threw up. So like sometimes I'm like, was there really a pig at that school, or was that just part of that dream? I'm pretty sure there's a pig. But yeah, it's called, and there were peacocks sometimes around, and we had like apricots and plum trees, or yeah. So like I feel like those are like rare fruits. Like I don't really, besides like James A. Caster's special, you don't really hear about like, I think he calls them apricots. Ready to eat apricots. I don't know. Yeah, you don't hear about apricots much, and so I just thought that was like really unique. There was an apricot tree. It was like a cute little school. And I've told this story on here before, but like whatever. My dad used to take us to the school because it was right next to his work, and there was one time like my sister and I were just sitting in the truck next to him so quietly, like he forgot that we were in there and he just drove straight to work without dropping us off first. Just like, oh well. Classic. Yeah, so I was kind of explaining this yesterday. If you watch my video that I posted yesterday, I started coughing a lot at the end while I was trying to explain this, but like, yeah. So the first time I made this, because I already got like almost halfway done, I made a lot of progress, and then I took it out to start over. Because I mean, I had the white yarn and then I ran out of white yarn, and then this new one that I bought was like slightly different, so I'm like, I'm just gonna redo it with like all this one because I have more of this. So yeah, the way you crochet from right to left, like I was trying to count the like stitches that I was supposed to do from this little grid that I drew. This is I copied this from, I think it was Pinterest. But anyway, yeah, I was counting like from right to left, and then counting from left to right, like the way that I would read it, and then when you crochet you go right to left. So it was just like backwards in my head, and so I'm just like really glad that I like changed it. Yeah, good stuff. Riveting conversation. I'm so mean to myself. I'm like, you need to be more interesting. Yeah. Anyway, what was I was gonna talk about Hadestown again. What was I gonna say about Hadestown? Oh, I was just gonna say, I was thinking of saying like, after explaining about the cat tapestry situation, I was like, okay, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And then it was like, down below, 6 feet under the ground below, you know, and I was like, oh gosh, okay. Hadestown. I love Hadestown. Again, if you haven't seen it, there's like plenty of versions that you can watch online. But that's none of my business. It's technically illegal to watch bootlegs. Don't do it, kids. But yeah, if you can go see it live, it's really good. Yeah, it's like, okay, if you've never heard of it, because I had seen a lot of people talking about it and saying it's good online, but I didn't really have like an idea of what it was, besides like it has Hades in the name, so I'm like, okay, Greek god Hades, Hadestown, and I imagine like kind of like the Hades character. Like he was kind of like a businessman and just like Hades, but like it's his town and he like runs a town. So it's like, yeah, he's like in a suit and just like being evil and like Hades and whatever. But that was kind of it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to, like, I didn't know what it was gonna be about. Like I was like, is this about just like all the crimes that happen in Hades Town or whatever? Like, I don't know. So I didn't like make any effort to watch it, and then I think I'd even seen, like, driving around, I vaguely remember seeing like posters like on the, you know, the lamppost when there's like a show playing. There are posters for Hades Town, and I was like, I should go see that, but I think I was like working a lot at the time and I didn't really have time or like money either, because my roommate was like she's going through a lot, but she was like financially unstable. And so like I ended up paying a lot of her share of the rent, which is not the first time that's happened in my life. That also happened to me in college. Yeah, I had a housemate in college who, like, I think his parents got, like, his dad got laid off or something. And then he was working, so my roommate was working like 2 jobs, I think, while going to school. And like I think he was sending money like back to his parents because like his dad got fired or laid off or whatever. And so like I was trying to help him out, and like we'd get like eviction notices on our door, like pay or you're gonna get evicted, like you have 3 days or whatever. I don't know if that's an eviction notice or like if there's another word for it, but whatever. Just like for legal purposes, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, okay, we owe a bunch of money, and I had some money because like from my grandparents, I was supposed to get some money every year to go to college. And then my dad ended up using a lot of it to pay bills, which really sucked, but then I got some of it back through like a financial aid thing. Like there was it was really stupid, because in order to get the financial aid, like you had to enroll in the semester. You had to be taking like 12 like a full course load, which is like 12 courses, 12 units or whatever. And then you had to like pay for the class, and then you would do financial aid, and then they would refund you, which like, how does that even make sense, right? But so then I ended up getting a refund. So my dad used some of the money to pay for that, and then I got the refund through it. So I ended up getting some of the money back through that, but then it ended up just going like to rent because my roommate wasn't paying. And yeah, everyone thought we were dating, or not like really, but like I had one coworker in particular is like, because I let him borrow my laptop. I think that was one of the things. I was like, yeah, like I paid his rent. Oh, and there was also like an agreement where like he was working for like the radio show as well, in addition to the 2 jobs where he was getting paid, and classes. This was like a summer job actually, but like he was working for the radio show on campus, and he was like, okay, so like I'm working for them over summer, and then like their budget doesn't kick in until the school year, so I'm gonna get paid at the end of summer, and then I'll pay you back for like the rent that you've been paying. And then guess what? Summer came and went, and I never got paid back for anything. But that's okay, because like money isn't even real, you know what I mean? But like, because I said that like to my coworker, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm helping him pay his rent, and then like I also had like a second laptop. Like I had my like main laptop, my like MacBook, and then it was kind of heavy, and I didn't want to bring it to class in my backpack all the time, and I like was afraid that it would get like damaged if I kept doing that. And so I got like a lighter, like cheaper one that I could just bring to class that just had like internet access, and so I like let him use that too. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm letting him use my laptop, and my coworker's like, are you sure you're not like yeah, he basically implied that like because I was giving him these things that I should be getting something back in return, and since he wasn't like paying me back, that I should be like at least having sex with him. Like I was like, I'm not really like interested in that, which is, and then it's funny, not haha funny, but like it's funny because like he had a long distance girlfriend too, and then like years after, like we didn't really talk that much, like we'd message each other occasionally, like I'd send him a meme or something if it reminded me of him, and like there was one time he messaged me like, oh hey, I was just at the McDonald's by your house, because like I lived in near LA, but like we went to college in UC Davis, but like he was driving by, I guess, and they stopped. Like he didn't have a car, so like he was like riding with someone else, and then yeah, I guess they happened to stop at the freeway. My house is like right by the freeway, so like not anymore, anyway. So yeah, he's like, I stopped at there's like a little gas station with a McDonald's. He's like, I stopped at the McDonald's, and I was like, but like he couldn't have told me beforehand like that he was gonna be here, but I guess it was just like a really quick one, but quick stop. Yeah, but I was like, that's kind of weird to be like, hey, I was just like by you, like we should have hung out, you know. But I didn't tell you in advance, but like why did you even bother telling me then, you know? Like anyway, but yeah, so he had a long distance girlfriend, and we like basically never talked besides him telling me that like he ate at the McDonald's by my house once, and like a few memes, and then I got a message from him saying that his girlfriend thought that we had an affair. And I was like, what, like, where did this even come from? Like, we haven't really talked in years. Like, why did you just bring this up now? Like, does she think it's happening now? Or is it like, does she think it happened while we were together, like living together? Like, why? Like, it just felt really weird. So I was like, what? Like now? Like, what do you mean? And then like he sent another message that was like basically like, yeah, I have to choose, like, I don't know, yeah, it was weird, like basically cutting me off because his girlfriend, like he was like, she's more important to me than our friendship. And I'm like, we didn't even do any, like, if she doesn't trust you, like if you can honestly tell her like nothing happened between us, because it didn't. Like I think we hugged one time, like when the day that I moved out, and I hadn't showered. Like I forget why exactly, but like there was probably some issue, like I'd already packed like my towel or something, and like and then yeah, I don't know if that would take like 3, but anyway, I felt like I was a little stinky, and then like moving all my stuff around was kind of sweaty. It was also like the day of the eclipse, like the 2017 August, I think it was August 21st 2017. But yeah, like I was moving out, and then we hugged, and I just like remember feeling like self-conscious because I was like, oh, I don't think I've showered, like I'm a little stinky, like so it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss you so much, like this like love that I have for you that was unexpressed is just like finally just gonna, no, it was just like, oh okay, like yeah. So we hugged one time, and she's like, I think you guys had an affair. And if you can't say like that's not true and like have the person believe you, like I don't think that's a very healthy relationship. Like if you can't say nothing happened, and just like, I don't know, I guess like good for him for like taking his girlfriend's feelings into consideration and like taking action to like make her feel better. But like at the end of the day, that's just like, I don't know, it's just a band-aid on, because if she's like, okay, there is there's one thing that I can think of, like he said like in the message where he was like cutting me off, I think he said that she looked at our Facebook messages, and there was one time, like she would have had to scroll back a long time for this, but like there's one time when they first started dating, I don't know why he asked me this, because I said I never kissed anybody, it was, I didn't say it, I said it like to the girls that lived there, and then someone else said it while like we had like a little girls night, and like we're all talking about like crushes and stuff. I was like, I've never kissed anyone. And then like later he was there too, and someone's like, oh yeah, like, and then I remember he was just like, oh, don't be bad at it. And I was like, okay. So it wasn't like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think either of us were like harboring secret feelings or anything. Like it was just like, why is this? Why are you accusing us of having an affair and then like not believing that is not true? And then like, I don't know. I just felt like there was nothing that I could say to like save the situation, because if she already believed that we were having an affair, then like me being like, oh no, of course not, like she's not gonna believe me. Like, because obviously I'd be like okay lying to her about it if that was okay, like sleeping with her boyfriend. Like so I was like, I don't really think there's anything I can say in this situation that's gonna like remedy anything. So I kind of just like was like, okay, whatever. Like that's fine. We weren't like super close, like I think he was using me for my HBO account. He'd always invite me. He'd be like, do you want to watch Game of Thrones? Do you want to watch, there's another show called Animals that we watched, and he'd be like, let's watch Game of Thrones. And then I'd go down and like, because my room was upstairs, I'd go down to like the living room and like just like be waiting on the couch, and then he'd like start making food, and I was like, I thought you wanted to watch Game of Thrones. And like sometimes he would make me some, but not usually. So it wasn't even like, you know, like he's making me food, like blah blah blah. Like he would make himself food and then eat while like watching, and we'd like watch on my account. And then that was when I also had like my gay awakenings that I mentioned a few times, like from watching Game of Thrones. There are a few times, like there's a lot of times when women are like naked on it. Like I remember there's one scene where there's like a guy in prison and a girl in another cell, and he's saying like, oh, the women of this place are like the most beautiful women in the world, and she's like, oh yeah, and she like takes off her dress or like unrobes or whatever, like her clothes just drop to the floor, and she's like, what about now? And then it's like, I was like, oh my god, that's so hot. Like but yeah, I was like, am I like attracted to her as like a woman, or is it just like the over sexualization of this, because you don't see women just like dropping their clothes like to the floor all the time? It's just like, oh my, is it just like that, like, or am I gay, like what's going on here? I was identifying as asexual at the time, I think, but yeah. And then there's there's another scene where there's like there's two girls, I think one of her brother that like tried to feel her up, like, okay, when they like were separated for a long time, I think it was the Greyjoys, Theon Greyjoy and his sister, right? And they were separated, and like the first time they meet again, she's like pretending not to know him, and like he's like hitting on her, trying to like feel her up, and then she's like, "Ha, I'm your sister," and it's like, why did you let it get that far? Oh, sorry, I just like punched you in the face. I'm so sorry, baby. Do you want to come here? Here, I'll move my yarn. Okay. So yeah, there's the Theon Greyjoy, and his sister, and there's like another girl in there like flirting with his sister and like touching her thigh, and then like the brother's just like standing there, and I just remember like thinking about that scene, like specifically the thigh on the hand, not like the whole part about her brother being there, but I was like, oh my god, they're gay. Oh my god, look, her hand's on her thigh. Oh my god. And then it's funny because I watched that episode multiple times. The first time I saw it, I think I just like went off into like, oh my god, she's gay. Oh my god, am I gay? Oh my god, because then there's like a whole battle scene that starts like right after that. The second time I watched that, I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember any of this at all. I just like, I'm too gay for this. Hi little baby. This fight scene, but yeah, gay stuff. And then there's the scene where like I always get her name mixed up. There's like the Red Witch, and then there's like Daenerys's like side, like right hand woman. Their names are both like Melisandre or something similar to that. So we'll get that later. Okay, so yeah, I would get their names mixed up, but there's like she was the black girl with like the like natural hair, like kind of afro. If you watched the show. Anyway, there's like an unsullied guy, which like if you don't know, the unsullied are like castrated, so they don't have penises, and they're like the soldiers, and it's supposed to like make them like more loyal to the whoever owns the army or whatever. So yeah, they like the girl and the unsullied like hook up, but he doesn't have a penis, so then he like starts going down on her, and I was like just really really interested in that scene. I was like, you know, so I was like, okay, I think I might be a lesbian. And then I was like, maybe it's just because we would also like smoke weed together. There's one time like we threw a little party. I think it was like a going away party for like one of my coworkers, and I was like, I've been to his little apartment. It was tiny, and I was like, he was throwing this party and like a bunch of people were invited, and I was like, are these people all gonna fit at your place? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, do you want me to have it at my place? Because like we've done that before where like someone had a party for like someone else who like couldn't have it at their place. So I was like, I'll ask my housemates if we can do that again. So we did. What was I talking about? Yeah. Already told that story. Wasabi has some things to say now. What do you want to tell the people at home, Wasabi? All the gays in my phone. Oh, he doesn't like you. He's leaving. Wasabi's homophobic. Remember the homophobic dog memes? I hated those. Okay. Thanks, Wasabi. I did want to talk about these and I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. Do you want to come over here? I mentioned these before. I have like little squished mouse. I feel like you can't really see what they are. It's like a little mouse, but it's like squished and it's a door stopper, so it's just like flat. You put it under the door and then like it stops. Theoretically it stops the doors from moving. I put a rock in this one to make it heavier, but it still like doesn't stop the door that we put it under. So do you want to play with it? I was telling my dad, because I think there was one time I like woke up and I said like hi to both of our cats, and then I was like, oh, and dad, and then so he does that a lot. He'll like wake up and say hi to a bunch of other things. He'll be like, oh, hi, Wasabi, and then he's like, hi, little mouse under the door. After I crocheted these, hi, little mouse. He just took that and ran with it, didn't he? Okay. So yeah, he's like, hi, little mouse under the door. And then I was thinking about that girl in New Girl. I think it was Cece's roommate, who's like Mick Mouse. Like she called Mickey Mouse Mick Mouse, which like boycott Disney, free Palestine, by the way. But anyway, I was like, we should call him Mick Mouse, which like I don't feel like is, I don't know, like it's not helping Disney in any way, even though it's like kind of a reference to it. But it's more a reference to like messing up his name, which I think is funny. Anyway. I was like, we could call him Mick Mouse, and then the other one could be Min Mouse. And then we were talking about like maybe if I made a third one, it would go like by another door. And he's like, oh, and the other one could be Door Mouse. And I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, Mick Mouse, Min Mouse, and Door Mouse. Like, no, I heard you, but like, why? Like, he's like, because it goes under the door. And I was like, yeah, but they all go under the door. Like, I thought it would be like another like kind of like Disney name, but like shortened, like Mick instead of Mickey, Min instead of Minnie, like Don Duck. You could do like a Don Duck or a Goof. I don't know. Dormouse. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, we can name it Dormouse if you want. I don't see why, but I don't see why not either. You know what I mean? So maybe once I'm done with this tapestry, I actually have a lot of like grids on Pinterest that I'm excited to make. It's gonna take a lot of yarn and a lot of time, and since Joann's closed now, yeah, I thought about calling, I think I mentioned this before too, I thought about calling Joann and seeing if they were open. I was thinking about how I was talking about getting this yarn to Joann and how I'm probably not gonna be able to get it again. So I was like, I should probably like call them and see if they're open and see if, like, I don't have that tag either. Like, I was like, I don't need to save my yarn scraps because I just go and I like know what it looks like and I know what section of the yarn store I got it at, and then they closed the yarn store, so it's like, okay, I can't just like get it online. And even if I did, it'd probably be a slightly different shade of white. Anyway, is this the front side or the back side? So we've got it longer on this side, which is supposed to be that way. Okay, so this is the front. Good. That's what I wanted it to be. Okay, yeah, my little piano bench thingy, like the little feet on the bottom, there's like little like black things that you put on the like the bars. They're like flat on the floor and then you put like a thing on the side, and then there's another one over here and they have like the things and they keep coming off the things. I'm like, should I just like get Gorilla Glue and just like put them in there, stick them on, and it's like wobbly anyway. I don't know. Yeah, there's other things. Okay, I'm gonna talk about other things I want to crochet. So in terms of like tapestries, I want to do another one similar. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, I want to do another one similar to this where it's like, I wanted to grab the other ball of yarn. This yarn, the like gay one and the like white probably. I saw a pin that was like L and then like a heart and then a V and an E, like in a square in like squares in a square. I thought that was cute. I could do like alternating, like kind of like this, but like with white and gay pride flag. It's kind of hard with this one though, and the white, because this has like pale, like it's like white with a little bit of orange in it, so it's like against the white is not really a lot of contrast, not really enough to see, I think. So it's not ideal. So maybe I would do like a black background instead. That could be fun, and then it'd be like the sun obviously like is brighter, and then like it'd be, yeah, anyway, I think it makes sense. And I have a lot of like black yarn. One of my old coworkers, when I started crocheting at my old job when I was like, I was a health and safety monitor on a TV show. So I was like sitting and watching people, like making sure they were wearing masks and stuff. So there's a lot of downtime and like reading. And then I got dumped on Valentine's Day and it was like really upsetting to me because like he texted me on Valentine's Day that like he'd been seeing someone else for 2 weeks and they'd been hanging out a lot, and I'm like, so you knew for 2 weeks and you told me on Valentine's Day? And I was like really upset about it, to the point where like I couldn't focus on what I was reading because I would just start like thinking about that again. So I was like, I need to find something else to do. So I started like crocheting and stuff at work, and then I started coming up with like, I got really good, and I was coming up with ideas for Christmas presents for like all my coworkers, and then I got laid off. So 2 people got their things, 3 I guess, so a couple of people got what I was gonna make for them, but yeah, I got laid off at the end of September. It was like the last day of September, so yeah, I didn't get to make most of the Christmas presents. Somebody had asked for a black beanie though, so I bought some black yarn in anticipation to make the black beanie, and I never made it. That guy was wild. The guy who asked for the black beanie, he he was so funny in like I don't even know how to explain him to you. So he was one of the security guards, And like after like getting dumped on Valentine's Day, like that was by someone that I worked with, but it wasn't like we saw each other at work every day. It was like rare, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But like one of the times that I was on set and the guy who dumped me on Valentine's Day was there too, I was like trying to avoid him a lot, and I ended up talking to this like one security guard, and he was like asking me about my like clothes. He was like, oh, you have an interesting fashion sense, and he said that it looked like I was from New Hampshire, and I thought that that was a weird thing to say. I was like, my clothes make me look like I'm from New Hampshire. And then like later he clarified, it was like he was just complimenting, he was saying he liked my clothes, and also separately my vibe just made it seem like I was from New Hampshire. But he would just laugh so much at like everything that I said. Like I remember I told him my birthday and he was like, haha, only you, you know? Like okay, so I'll tell that story, like why that was so funny. Because so I was on set, I was wearing my hair up in a ponytail, and he came up to me. I'm like 27 at the time. He came up to me. I was not exactly. Okay. He was like, hey, I think he owns like shares of a club, like Tom Haverford kind of, because he's like, if you go out to a club or something, like don't wear your hair up. And I was like thinking about like those memes of like girls putting their hair up, and it like it's usually because they're like gonna like give a blowjob or something, and I was like, is he gonna tell me that it looks like I'm gonna like, I don't know, that I'm easy or something? Like why? And then he's like, because you look like you're about 14. And I was like, what? 27. So I was like, wow, okay, that's young. I've been told that I look young before. Like I got told like I look like 16 or maybe 19, but never 14. I was like, that's really younger than most people go. And then so like we were talking, I was like, well, I'm 27. I was like, I didn't tell him how old I was. I think he guessed. He's like, what are you actually, about like 28? I was like, oh, I'm only 27. How dare you? You know? He's like, okay. I was like, I am turning 28 this year though, on August 28th. 28 on the 28th. And then he laughed and he was like, only you can prevent wildfires. Just kidding. That always made me feel bad every time there was a wildfire. I was like, this is all my fault. I should have prevented this. But oh well. I get what they're going for. Like, don't start forest fires, but like only you can prevent wildfires. Like, okay, that's a lot of pressure to put on a little girl, okay? I don't know about you, Smokey Bear. 1, 2, 3. So one more row of this. Okay. What else is going on? Okay, so let's talk about it. I've been watching Queer Collective, as I mentioned, I think a couple of times now. Their videos here on YouTube. They have like a little podcast. There's two people in a couple, I almost called them two girls. One of them is, the last video I watched was, I almost said she's non-binary. They're non-binary. She uses they pronouns, everyone. I was watching a River Butcher. This is RB Butcher. They've changed their names. He's changed his name a couple times. Anyway, there's a special where he's like he's like using they them at the time. And he's like, they're like, man, gender is so confusing, right? Anyway, they're like, white people will go up to them at parties and be like, what are your pronouns? And then announce to the party, she uses they them pronouns, everybody. So anyway, me. Just kidding. I'm trying my best. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah, gender. Okay, so yeah, one of them is non-binary, but okay, so they started out, they're like, we're lesbians, they're dating, and they started a podcast, and so they're like interviewing people, and then like I watched like one episode about like coming out later in life, and then I watched another episode about polyamory, because it just like popped up. I have a cousin who's polyamorous, and I was like, I'm writing, or thinking about writing, which is writing, I'm writing a story about like it's gonna start off like very like stereotypical, like the man cheating on his wife with his secretary, and then it's gonna like just branch out into like all these like open relationships, polyamorous stuff, like a lot of cheating too, but like eventually everyone's gonna like come together and like decide to be in polycule, I guess, like, oh yeah, whatever, but it's gonna be fun. Why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, so that's why I was watching the polyamory videos. And so in like one, they're like, oh yeah, we're thinking about being polyamorous, but like we can't decide on like who else to bring in. Like one of them was like, I think I would want someone more masculine. Someone's like, the other one was like, I think I would want someone more feminine. And then the next video I watched, there is the same person they're interviewing talking about polyamory again, but it's like 9 months later, and they're like, okay, like the guest was like, now I've made out with both of you and like you're in an open relationship. And so like one of them was like, yeah, I'm actually bisexual. I just like didn't realize like I could be with men because like I just had bad experiences with them, but like now that I'm dating queer men. And then now I'm watching one where that person was like, now I'm non-binary, bisexual. So it's like, I don't know, I keep coming back to like going back and forth between like being lesbian and bisexual. I moved my bisexual yarn to my other room, so I can't like prove it, but like yeah, I did like think I had a crush on a boy for a moment, and then I went out and bought the bisexual yarn, and then I like told him that I thought I had a crush on him, and gave him like my phone number, and then I never heard from him, so I'm like, okay, that wasn't real. And also like, I don't know, I think I was like making myself, like, I don't know, I think it would have just been like convenient if we dated, I guess. I don't know, like it just would have been nice because like he worked at like I started rock climbing and he worked at a rock climbing gym, and then like I wanted to like, I know someone who would like go to the gym early, like when this guy specifically was working, he would like open it early for him and like let him like train while there was no one there. And I was watching a Chapel Roan, I think it was a YouTube short where I saw it, but like she was like talking about how she gets ready for tour and she's like running and singing, and I was trying that because I like to sing, and I like was like, I wonder if I could do that. And so I tried it and I was like, I'm not really that good at it. And then I tried climbing and singing. I was like, that's really hard, that would be a really good workout, but I didn't want to like be bothering all the other like guests who are paying for their, like, I just want to come here and climb. I don't want to listen to this girl like screeching out, you know, like, never mind, I'll find someone like you, while she's trying to climb, you know, like so I was like, it would be nice, like we could like date and then I could like go in early and like climb and like practice singing and then become like a pop star, and then it's just everything's gonna like work out, you know. Like, just like all of my hopes and dreams riding on this like little crush. And then he didn't even text me, didn't even say no, sorry. Nope, sorry, I'm already seeing someone. No, I'm actually gay. No, I'm just like not really interested right now. Like, no thanks, I'm flattered, but I just like don't really see you that way. Nothing. I didn't get any response. I was like, okay, cool. Love that for me. Very, very fun times. Hard times, gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times. Okay, yeah, rock climbing's fun. I'm very good at it. Everyone tells me, like, I'll go climb something and then everyone's like, oh my god, you made that look so easy. I'm like, yeah, I try. I actually didn't try very hard. It was easy. What are you having trouble with? Because I didn't have any problems whatsoever. Okay, what am I doing next? I think I'm going 4 more stitches over with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, right? Okay, it starts here and then it goes that way. Because the first time I made it, I kept messing up because like when I'm looking at it this way and then like trying to like crochet, like I was saying, right to left, when I'm trying to read the things left to right, it just like, it gets confusing. So if you are going to start, if I've inspired you to start doing tapestry crochet, Now you know, don't start that way. Do it the other way. Don't start left to right. Oh, hard times. Yeah. Okay, this whole like left to right thing is reminding me of the second girl that I really had feelings for since like accepting that I liked girls, you know. Okay, so yeah, we were coworkers again. Like, it's always coworkers. If you look at my astrological chart, I have like Jupiter in the 10th house with like Pluto and my North Node. There's a lot of stuff in my 10th house basically, and then the Jupiter rules my Saturn, which is my chart ruler. So anyway, there's a lot of career energy in my chart, so it like kind of makes sense that like a lot of my friends and like people that I've dated were people that I met at work. So yeah, so I liked her. What was I gonna talk about? Oh, left and right. Yeah, we were I was on set that day, and we were there early because like I was on health and safety, and so like my team got there early, and she was like, someone from background came up to us and asked, like, we were all talking, and they asked like where the bathroom is, and she was like, oh, it's right there to the left. And then like we all watched as he walked and then went to the right, because they did move the bathroom, so he looked out and looked to the left, saw that they weren't there, looked to the right, and like because they moved them since she didn't know about it. But anyway, so it's just like, okay, go, that's not fucking left, but whatever. And then so later, like the same day, she was giving me instructions somewhere, and she's like, just straight on to the left, and I was like, which way's left again? It's like, oh my god, I'm so funny. And also like before, like the first time, like when we were standing around and the guy asked us where the bathroom was, like during that time, like I was holding a bag of like masks or something, and then a big like beetle flew and like was like flying around us, and she started like freaking out about it, and I just like was like super calm because I'm like super calm and chill, and then the beetle like flew into my bag, and I was like, she was like screaming, and I was just like, I just like opened the bag and like let it out. She's like, oh my god. It's like, oh my god, I just like saved all your lives. There's also one time we were at work early. There was a day that our boss was like just mad at everyone for coming in late or something. Like no one even came in late. I don't even know why this was an issue, but like yeah, there's like an email that went out that was like, your call time is the time that you're supposed to be like on set, ready to go or whatever, like on the buses on the way to set, whatever. Like you should be out of your cars, not like pulling up to the parking lot at your call time. And so she like tasked this girl with like calling anybody who was late late that day. And so like my job was to make sure like I would ask people like questions before they would get onto the buses that took them to set, to make sure they weren't like, they didn't have any COVID symptoms or anything, or like have exposure to somebody else who had COVID or anything, to make sure that like we were keeping a safe COVID-free set. And everyone got so annoyed at me asking. I'm like, I'm trying to keep you safe. Yeah, I'd be like, have you seen anyone who had COVID in the last whatever? And they're like, I haven't seen anyone but like the people on this set, you know? Because we did have like really long work days. So they're like, I don't see anyone. I don't have a life. Stop asking me. I'm like, this is my job. I'm sorry. Like, anyway. So we were standing by the buses. And it was like kind of chilly out, but I had a jacket. I was pretty warm. And she's like, I have a bunch of clothes in my car, and she like offered me some clothes, and then I was like, no, it's okay, like I'm warm enough. And then another girl came over. She was like, oh, you can have some of my clothes too. And like they went over and like she got a jacket out of her car. And then she came back later, and I was like, oh, you gave her a jacket and not me, kind of like joking because like she had offered me one first. She's like, I would give you the clothes off my back. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, I'm not gonna take you up on that right now, but maybe some other time. And then yeah, now she won't even text me back. I'm like, I definitely thought there was like, so like, why would she give me the clothes off her back? You know what I mean? Like, unless she wants to like get naked, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm like, she was into me. But yeah, it's okay. I don't need the validation. I know in my heart. Okay, let's see, we're at like 50 minutes. I'm done ranting about this girl that won't text me back now. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. As I said, I did get dumped on Valentine's Day, but I wrote music about it if you want to watch that. And I talked a little bit about astrology. If you want to hear more of that, I have an astrology channel. And other than that, just have like a good rest of your day or week or month or year or life or whatever you want to, whatever time frame. Okay, bye. Have a good, I already said all that.